Alrighty, Jam with Mrs. Pops. First, she says there are a few runners signing up by Thursday, June 11th for the virtual run. Good job. And if you want to sign up, it's in that last PowerPoint from last week. So this week we're going to learn about throwing and catching with Mrs. Pop's son, Kyle. So throwing, you need an eye on the target. You put your opposite foot forward. So your ball is in this hand. You put your opposite foot forward. Your arm is back. Your eye is still on the target. And then it says, transfer your weight to your front foot and bring your arm through quickly. So this is Mrs. Pop's son, and it says 17 is my favorite number. Follow through to your target, belly button or belt buckle facing your catcher. Celebrate. And then it says, this is very basic catching and throwing. So,
when you play music.
Oh, we get to watch this at grade 1. This is catching.
Hey guys, Michael Durr with Pro Speed Baseball. I'm back today with Clay Ballard from Top Speed Tennis. And today we're going to go over a very basic progression in learning how to catch a ball. This is going to be for your younger guys who are just getting into baseball, learning how to catch, learning how to do the basic stuff. Now, I've done this a ton of times with younger kids. Their parents bring them to me and they're like, they're having a really hard time catching, and actually just receiving a ball. So I'm going to take you through. Clay's going to help me go through the progression I go through with my students. And what I do, first of all, is I have them drop their glove completely, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get very used to catching the ball just in general, okay? So what I have them do is I have them just use both of their hands and just catch the ball with both of their hands at the same time, okay? That way they get a sense of receiving the ball, okay? And then once they get comfortable with that, I'll just say, okay, just put up your glove side hand. So Clay's right-handed, so he puts up his left hand, and then I have him just catch the ball with just their left hand. And I'll do this probably about 40, 50 times, or till however long it takes for them to get used to catching the ball with their glove side hand, okay? And you want to make sure that they're trying to receive the ball. That's a big one, making sure that they're going from out to in. So if they're trying to, so go ahead, Clay, go ahead and stab at one. If they're going like that and they're trying to really go out and catch the ball, which is very common, I like to do this drill where I have them stick their hand straight out. So stick your hand straight out, and what I want them to do is I want them to bring their arm in as they're catching. It's very simple. So as I throw the ball, bring your arm in as you're catching. Okay? So that they start getting used to receiving the ball. Okay? Now what we do is the next one I do is I'll give them their glove, and we'll back up just a little bit. And we want to stay very light throwing. We don't want to throw very hard if they're having trouble with catching. We want to progressively work the speed up. So we'll back up probably about 15 feet away, okay? And I'll still throw underhand, so we can keep the speed up. And we'll go back to two hands, and we'll work on receiving, okay? So we're just very easily working on two-hand receiving, okay? And then the same as we did with the glove off, we're going to go just to one hand. We're going to have them hold their glove up, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that both of their hands are going to be facing out towards you. A lot of times I'll see kids just kind of, when I tell them to put their hands up, they'll put them up like this, or they'll just go like this and then try to catch them. We want our hands in a ready position, ready to catch, okay? So have both your hands pointing towards me, so I should be able to see the inside of his glove, okay? And then we're just going to work on receiving with one hand, okay? Very easy, light throws. Right here, one hand. Okay, and making sure that we're still receiving, okay? If they're still stabbing at it, make sure that we go into the drill where you have your glove way out and that you are receiving. You're actually having some give on the arm, okay? Now, once you work through those, go ahead and just start progressively working back further and further with the glove. And the further and further you are, you're going to have to throw it a little bit harder and a little bit harder. So if you're working in 5-10-foot increments and you're just backing up a little bit, and you're throwing easy, you'll actually be throwing a little bit harder, and they'll be getting more and more used to catching. And before you know it, if you work in slow, you'll be able to throw it as hard as you want to your kid or with your playing partner, and they'll be catching it like it's nothing every day. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below, and I'll be sure to answer each and every one of those personally so we can...
Okay, that was a good video. So it says, put it all together and go play catch. You can use any ball. You don't need a catching glove to play. Send me a video of you throwing and catching, and Kyle and I will tell you the things you're doing correct and what you need to improve. So if you send me a video, I'll email it to Mrs. Pops, and she and her son will help you with your catching and throwing. And then she says, I miss you. I'll be honest, grade ones, I'm not super great at baseball. And I learned some things from that video, so I wish I would have known that stuff in grade 1, and I think I need to practice my throwing and catching today. I hope you do too.